Welcome to a new episode of Two Weebs in the Pod. I am your host, Lisa Wallen, aka Lisa Wallen. Here I am with my wonderful co-host.
Hello, my name is ARUUU, also known as Deputy ARUUU, also known as
UUURA.
UUURA.
It's been a while since we recorded an episode because ARUUU has had a really exciting project that she's been working on that I would love to talk about since we haven't really talked about it. What is UUURA?
UUURA is my Vtuber model. So for those of you who don't know what like a Vtuber model is, it's basically this anime character that you can like, I don't know how would you explain it, to rig like to your face. You can rig it to your face, and it's like anything that I do, she will do. And so it's kind of just like this fun little thing of having an anime character now that I can be on stream, especially when I'm not feeling like doing face cam streams or any of that. I'll still do face cam streams, but yeah, a lot of VTuber stuff happening.
Okay, but like ARUUU's is amazing. All right, because I've watched a lot of VTubers mainly because of like the goofy clips, but like you went all out with like the lore, the music, the build up. You had like a freaking commercial. It was incredible. I watched the lore video, which was very funny to me because you had like this whole, and it had a lot to do with your Turkish background, which I thought was incredible.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, this mysterious like being is coming back for revenge. And then you're just like, hi.
The problem is I was so nervous when I showed it that like I could not be in character. I wanted to be in character, but I just couldn't. I was so nervous. I was like, yeah, it's just, this is not going as planned anyway.
It was perfect. I feel like that's most VTubing because it's like, to you in the background, it's like, this is your no cam, like this is your persona right now, so it's like I don't have to use a camera, so I'm just gonna be this. But to everyone else, they're like, wow, she sounds so much like ARUUU.
yeah
No, it's so great. And I know you said it's been like kind of a struggle because it is a huge different like a different career path, because like VTubers usually they start out as VTubers.
Yeah.
So they don't like do like face cams either. They just do VTubing. So like, I hope you keep up with it though. I love it.
So. I mean, it's very strange because I guess in a way it's like I'm a hybrid creator, which sounds like really bad.
You're like, I'm half demon, half human.
Well, like because it's like I'm a hybrid creator. It's a lot of people who follow me for my cam streams, it's not, the VTuber doesn't translate, especially because VTubing is a very niche community. I mean, obviously it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but it's not fully accepted by people. Obviously, there are some people who are very upset that I have a VTuber model now, but I am definitely way happier. I'm definitely more comfortable streaming as my VTuber. I feel like a lot of pressure is especially put on women they like need to show their face, they need to have their body in frame in order to have people watching them. Thankfully my community has reassured me that that is not the case. But I really enjoy it because I don't feel the pressure of someone constantly looking at my face when I'm streaming. You know, I can focus on my content and not really have to worry about what people are seeing on camera. Exactly. So I like it. I like my VTuber. I hope it works out. But obviously, it's a big career risk. You know, I'm gambling with my career. So
it also,
we'll see.
like seeing that viewership. I feel like it's the same thing with like variety streaming. Like it's like I got big, or I guess doing Yakuza and Soul streams. So like when I'm not doing that, it's like my viewership's like cut in half, and I'm like, yeah. But it's like I feel like the people that are supporting you, like they're gonna stick through whatever you do, and that's more important. But as much as we want to believe that, it's like, okay, but like I still need money.
Well, and that's the thing. I think that's the thing that like people don't understand. It's like I'm thankfully, because my community is supporting me as much as they can, I'm able to have the privilege of like making these big changes and these big things that are going to be beneficial to me, hopefully. But like if someone doesn't have that and you're like, oh, just do that thing, it's really hard for someone to be like, okay, well, it's easy for you to do that thing, but it's a lot harder for me to do this thing. You know what I mean? So I get it from both ends. You should do the thing, but at the same time, it's very hard to do the things you want to do, especially Exactly. You know the risk you're taking. Gamble. If you're gonna gamble, you have to know when to gamble and when to not gamble. I feel.
Also the expectations need to be low. Like I just posted a TikTok that wasn't comedy related, and like no one is seeing it. So it's just like, and I get so many, like I got so many followers on Instagram from my comedy reels that anytime I post something that's like Twitch. Like I showed Sam today, like I got a message saying, "What's Twitch?" Like it's like trying to balance two different career types it's hard because it's like, what does my audience want? And as much as we want to be like, we just want to be happy with what we do, it's like, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
When it comes with money. So.
Well, and especially that's why trends happen. You have to follow trends. You have to be constantly adapting, especially in this space where it's so competitive.
Yeah.
If you are not adapting, then you are not making it. And I feel like that's really disheartening, and I don't want people to be upset, but like that's the truth. If you are not adapting, you're not making it unless you reach a certain point where you are the one starting the trends, which is like, I'm talking like big. Yeah, you have to follow trends. You have to constantly adapt. You have to change your content, but you have to change your content in a way where it's like adaptable and it translates fluidly. Because if you just do what I did, which was like kind of shocking, you just like bam, done, change. It's like, it's very risky.
I think your build up to VTubing was really good though, because I do feel like that people are like, I'm just a VTuber. Like, remember when Pokimane had the everyone just well, I feel bad for her regardless.
I feel bad for her too. I thought that was ridiculous.
She posted like a clip of her and everyone's like, what? Like, so like it's like, I understand that whatever she does, people are gonna troll, but at the same time, it's like that was just like a hard drop, and everyone's like, excuse me, like what? I feel like you did it the most professional and best way possible. And you know what? It might be slow now, but I think eventually, like, people are gonna come, because VTubing is trending. Like, they're eventually gonna see you and be like, "Who's this beautiful wolf woman with the baby voice?"
Honestly, I think especially because like I don't want to, any community that I join, I don't want to disrespect anyone. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I want it to be as authentic and respectable as possible, because I've wanted to do VTubing for a long time, but it's not affordable. And I feel like, a lot of people agree that VTubing is not affordable. Not everyone can just become a VTuber. If you do it, you have to do it in a way where it makes sense. And so if you want to come out with like this big shiny model, like I had the privilege of doing, I had to wait 3 or 4 years before I could even consider it. And then it took my model almost 2 years of planning, designing, writing, like all of that.
Which is why you should definitely not give it up. Even if you want to put it on the back burner for a minute because of viewership or whatever, it's definitely something that clearly makes you happy. I watched that urethra clip you posted on Twitter. Your clips it's like, I can tell you're happier and more comfortable because, like, I mean, you're always yourself in your streams, but I can just see that because you don't have that extra barrier between you and your audience, you're like, oh, I'm free to be me.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was a VTuber, it'd be a mess.
Yeah, no, I've definitely
hearing people me drink the whole time.
I feel like there's like, when I do cam streams, and it's not because it's like, and I feel like this is weird because people always misunderstand this, but like when I do cam streams, I have a filter on. There's a lot of things that I don't feel comfortable saying when I can see my face. Like me looking at you right now, obviously the way we're talking on Discord is different, but like the way we talk in person is different, obviously. So like when it's like I'm showing my face, there are certain things that I can't like do or say because I'm just like, okay, I'm like in entertainment mode. Like I am entertaining people, whereas like my VTuber, it feels much more authentic because it's like I'm in a group of friends, you know, and I'm just being like a gremlin and there's no filter, as you've seen from the clips. The filter's gone, you know? So it's like, as the VTuber, I'm a lot more comfortable. I feel much safer. It gives you that like, what is it? Like the anonymity, what do they have on Twitter that makes them like
Anima.
No, not an enema. I was like, wait, hold on.
The amenity?
The anonymity? Whatever makes you anonymous on Twitter. It's like the same kind of thing, okay? Not an anema.
Well, I hope you stick with it. Like it's hard for me to watch most of your streams because we always stream around the same time.
We do, yeah.
But when you do, I love seeing it because VTubing
Lisa.
things is hilarious. And speaking of trends, like I'm really glad that you brought that up because we have a very consistent podcast that we record every single week,
True.
and I'm really glad to be back in the studio finally. Well, no, that's awesome. I really wanted to talk about the VTubing stuff because I haven't been able to ask you about it, and I knew you were hyping it up forever. And so, if you guys are watching this, please check out the UUURA streams. ARUUU put her heart and soul into them, and you'll find really funny moments where she's trying to think of words that aren't the words that she needs to say, like anemone or sea anemone.
Yes.
So today's episode, we have had, I think you and I kind of talked about this last time. We kind of had sort of a break from seasonal animes just because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's the nature once you start streaming to begin with that you can't, like, I'm trying to do streaming and comedy. So, like, trying to devote time to anime is hard. It's like if I'm put something up on TV, I can't look at it. So it has to be in English and in real life. Like, I can't invest my time. Mm-hmm. But this year, I've watched a handful of seasonals, which we'll talk about, but fall is going to be stacked. So right now, I am getting through everything else that I have on my backlog, my games that I'm not streaming, the TV shows that I've been wanting to catch up, because the minute October hits, I'm just going to be like an incel until December. Is there anything that you're excited about? Because I have a list.
I'm excited about Stone Ocean, which came out last night.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Okay.
About how, sorry, Netflix, if you're watching this, but maybe you should take some tips that you should probably not split your seasons in half and then not advertise when the second part of it comes out.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it if it wasn't for Twitter.
Same.
And it's also like, oh my God. See, this is what bugs me now that I'm sidetracking, is that like the whole point of like seasonal anime is that you build up every week watching it.
Yeah.
Or you wait until you binge it. But the problem is that they didn't let the whole series finish for us to binge it. They gave us half of it. So I have to go back and remember what the hell happened. I'm sure they'll recap it, but it's just like the production makes zero sense to me. But anyways, I'm very excited about that too.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Netflix on multiple occasions dropped the ball with JoJo, which is so it's so disheartening because it's like for an anime that, and I don't know if like this is the right way to word it, but like if it was an anime that nobody knew about, everybody was just getting introduced, I feel like it's like, okay, I guess I can stomach that, but it's JoJo. Like the absolute disrespect to the
most
show.
One of the most iconic series
absolutely
of all
just
time.
So disrespectful to the show, to the fans. Like I don't know why Netflix picked it up, because it genuinely feels like there's just the love and care is lacking, and it's really upsetting.
And it's also very funny too, because like there's always been issues with localization in JoJo because they use so many like cultural references, but the Netflix one has not been that good to begin with, so it's like they kind of dropped the ball on everything. But luckily there's a thing called Twitter where Netflix should be paying all of us for advertising their shit, otherwise nobody would watch it.
Yeah,
but
very true.
They're like that with seasonals all the time though. Like I remember when I was, same thing when I was watching Beastars. When that first came out, it was seasonal, and I know you love Beastars so much. When I was watching that, it was seasonal, but they would not drop the show until months later after they got the dub. So I had to legally stream it because I wasn't able to watch it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, then what's the point of buying the licenses if you don't even release a show when it's hyped?
Yeah.
And because of that, I missed out on so many like anime awards and missed out on all of its trends because it didn't even come out until months later, unless you watched it illegally. And I don't know. I think this is just the big problem with streaming apps, is that they don't realize how important and how big anime actually is.
Yeah.
They're like, we know it's a trend, so we're going to adapt all these shows. But it's like, yeah, but you don't know what you're doing. This isn't like Game of Thrones, where you just drop the like
exactly.
Exactly. It's like these are things that we invent. And for people who are fighting to have anime be legally like streamed, especially since it's more accessible than it's ever been, you would think that these big streaming apps would do everything they can to make sure that people are watching them legally. Instead, they make it harder for us to watch it legally. End rant. Anyways, Stone Ocean will be great. I wrote a list of stuff. Like, this year alone, I've probably watched. This is probably the least amount of seasonals I've watched. I think every year since 2015, I've watched at least 5 or 6 shows every season. This year, I kind of dropped the ball because there wasn't a lot since winter, but this is what I wrote down that I'm excited for. Mob Psycho season 3, obviously. Chainsaw Man still doesn't really release date, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be starting in fall. Spy Family season 2, Golden Kamuy season 4, which also nobody cares about but me.
Wait, is it season 2 of Spy Family? I thought it was a second part.
Second part of season 1.
Okay,
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know how it.
That'd be awesome if they came out with the second part and then season 2.
Second part and then season 2. They just dropped the ball, the opposite of Netflix. We're just gonna release even more anime. Blue Lock, which is a series I've been wanting to read, there is now getting an anime adaptation. My Hero Academia season 6, which I'm not super caught up on, but I read all the manga, and season 6 is gonna be fucking wild. And then there's the new Bleach anime, which I don't really care about, but I feel like I need to.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
Are you caught up on Bleach entirely?
I've been trying to. It's really hard.
It's hard for me.
I think just reading the manga's the way.
I think I also had an issue with Bleach because I knew nothing about Bleach before I watched it. Like, I thought it was going to be like samurais in the middle of like Edo period Japan.
Yeah,
Instead, it's like high school kids and a Reaper. And I was like, wait, this is just Disney Channel shit. What is this?
The thing is, I feel like with Bleach, and I just feel like when it was being written, they didn't really know what they wanted to do with it, and then it kind of they kind of got the hang of it, but it feels like very much when you watch like season 1, feels like a completely different show.
Oh yeah, every clip that I saw of Bleach growing up, like, like late at night when I'd be at a friend's house and like Adult Swim or whatever was on, it was always like, oh cool, like they're fighting, blah blah blah, this is badass. And I started and I was like, why are they in high school? It's like, for me it was like, it makes sense like with the whole big 3 thing, because yes, it's going to be catered to teenagers, but I got about 40 something episodes in. From what I remember, they were rescuing someone, and it was taking way too long.
Oh, was it? You were probably at the Byakuya arc, because they were rescuing Rukia.
I believe so. And then I was like,
starting Byakuyas.
I was like, oh, I don't know if I can handle this. I'd probably get back into it. I think I was trying to watch that and Naruto simultaneously, and then Naruto just hit it for me. Yeah, I feel like everyone identifies as one of the big 3.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite. I love
Hogwarts
Bleach,
house for
and
Weebs.
I can't do Naruto. I've tried to do Naruto many times because I like the Naruto community. They really don't seem that toxic from what I've seen compared to like the rest of the big 3. Well, at least from what I've seen, they're not as bad. One Piece fans, questionable.
I have a bad anime tweet that I'll save.
Of course you do. It's always the One Piece fans. But
I will save this for the end of the episode because I have some good ones that I would like to share. But me, it's like there's all these great animes coming out, and I'm like, I just can't wait for Mob Psycho season 3. I know that you are not a fan or have not watched.
I will watch it. I will watch season 1. I will. I have this thing where I do 2 episodes, and by episode 2, if I'm not hooked, I don't mess with it anymore. And I'm like that even with like Overlord. The new Overlord season came out.
I couldn't get into Overlord.
I watched the first. Well, I love Overlord. I'm a huge fan of it. And then when the new season dropped, I watched episode 1. I'm like, oh my god, this is the most boring shit I've ever watched in my life. And I dropped it, and I haven't gone back, and I have no desire to go back.
You're
and I
harsh.
love Overlord. I am. I'm very, especially with like the minimal amount of time I have. Like if I'm dedicating my time to enjoying myself, it's like, I'm not going to sit here and watch something that I'm not enjoying. I can't. I don't have that. Like, as a kid, of course, I had that luxury. I could just sit there and watch 5 episodes and be like, oh, okay, now it's getting good.
That's why seasonals are good, because then I can watch one episode and then next week and then know exactly what I'm going to drop.
Yeah.
And then if I hear the season ended well, I'll put on a backlog that'll never be touched. And I've kind of accepted that. Like, as I've gotten older and gotten busier, at least with streaming and work and like comedy, it's like, I've accepted the fact that I might not be watching any of the stuff on my backlog ever. Like, I'm accepted that I have seen what makes me happy, and I'm satisfied with that. I have seen Gintama, I have seen Mob Psycho, and like, if after season 3 I never see anymore, I'm satisfied. Hunter x Hunter, same thing. But the funny thing about Mob Psycho season 3 is it's the same studio that is doing My Hero Academia.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, it is, but it's very funny because, like, I don't know too much about, I know enough about, like, studios and animator stuff, but I don't know exactly how they assign projects, in quote. I know they do get a lot of independent contractors for certain scenes and independent animators, but it is very funny to have probably one of the most action-packed seasons of My Hero Academia coming out this fall, which I'm excited about. And then one of the least action-packed, Mob Psycho. I mean, it's the ending of Mob Psycho. All the big stuff has happened. So it's just like, you know, this is kind of like the climax of the series. And what's funny to me, it's like, I saw the Mob Psycho season 3 opening, and every single frame is a piece of art. It's like it's a passion project. They put their heart and soul into it. But for me, I'm like, watch them spend more time and more animators animating a really non-action series like Mob Psycho, and then My Hero Academia is gonna get like bottom tiered, which is fine. But it's just something I think about, is that I see all these memes about people being like animators on Mob Psycho versus My Hero, and it's like, yeah, one's a passion project and one's homework.
Yeah.
But I am really excited for Chainsaw Man.
I'm very excited.
I don't know if there's a release date yet. Does anyone know?
I think there might have been, like, I know they said fall for sure. They said fall 2022.
Chainsaw Man release date. Sorry. No one heard that.
But I think the thing I don't know. Let me say it here and now while Lisa's like looking it up. I think Chainsaw Man is going to be revolutionary. I think after Chainsaw Man, anime is going to be way different. Not all anime, obviously, but I think anime that wants to succeed is going to follow the Chainsaw Man format.
It says it's October. It just doesn't have a date.
Okay, so fall. But people, I mean, even hearing my friends who like read the manga have convinced me, like, every person that has ever, I feel like, read Chainsaw Man has nothing but insane shit to say about it in a good way.
I love Chainsaw Man. I read all of it, and I read it the right way, which was binge it all at once. It's, for me, it's a kind of like Hunter x Hunter in the sense where it's like, if you watched, I wasn't around when Hunter x Hunter was being written regularly, but knowing the different waves of and different types of arcs they're in based on Tagashi's like curtain brain, it was like, wow, so many things escalated differently and very fast. But imagine that condensed in like 90 chapters. It's like the pacing in that series is insane to begin with, but also he had another manga called Fire Punch, which I wasn't a huge fan of because it was like more of the bless you. We have an audience in the background. There's about 100 of them. I read Fire Punch, and I wasn't a huge fan of it because it relied more on like the shock value-ness of it, which I'm not a huge fan of. But Chainsaw Man does that in a more creative and like kind of like a cosmic horror way, and it's really cool because it is considered like a shonen, like it was in Shonen Jump, but like there are certain parts in the manga that I have no idea how they're gonna animate. Like there's one specific thing where a girl literally throws up on Denji, and I'm like, in his
mouth. Yeah, I've seen that manga
gross.
panel. Yeah,
it's like, how are they gonna? I don't know what they're gonna do. And I know that it's Mappa, and they kind of get away with doing things that are a little more, I guess, grotesque. But it'll be very interesting to see if the rating of the series will change with the animation, because it's so far with all the PVs that we've seen, it looks like they're staying true to the style, but. Yeah, there's some things in there that I'm like, maybe a 16-year-old shouldn't be watching this, but I'm really excited, and it's very funny to see the whole internet be obsessed with Mappa, because for me, I'm like, this is the same shit that Madhouse dealt with years ago when they were doing Death Note and Hunter x Hunter and like all the big, they're just the new Madhouse. And so I hope people who are like, I hope Mappa animates it. I'm like, you guys need to let them like chill, because they're going to end up like that where everyone gets burnt out and leaves the company. And I don't want that to happen. So, but I do agree. I do think it'll be revolutionary in a sense where it's like, for one thing, everyone's already cosplaying as Makima and they haven't even read the series.
I
like
have a Makima cosplay.
She's become the next remember the 02 phase?
Dude, see, I got the 02 phase because 02 is basically Lum.
Yeah.
And people, like, I was shocked on my stream because we were talking about that. Nobody knows about Lum. Barely anyone in my chat knew about it. I was like, bro, she is the blueprint for all of your waifus.
And
like,
she's
she
also,
came first.
they're also making an anime about her.
I know, I'm so excited.
I don't know if it's
excited.
I don't know if it's a remake or like an OVA.
It looks like a remake.
See, no, oh man, she might have to battle that out with Makima.
Well, and the thing is, I'm curious how they're gonna, because I mean, the censorship in Yatsura was non-existent. You know, it was pretty far out there. So I wonder how the remake is going to translate.
It's very golden boy esque. It was
like,
I never watched all of it, but it was like one of those things where it's like everyone has seen moments from it. Yeah. Kind of like ghost stories.
Well, and when I showed her on stream, people are like, oh, I've seen her around. I'm like, yeah, bro, she's the reason why your waifus exist. Yeah,
she's like the iconic, and like, she's like a Betty Boop almost.
That's exactly what 02 is. 02 is Lum, just with like a different design. Yeah. Genuinely same personality, same way the darling thing, the same way she talks. I'm like, okay, well.
Darling in the Franxx was terrible.
I tried watching it. Couldn't watch it. Couldn't get into it.
For me, it's like, this is actually another one of the bad tweets that I have to share, but I'm like obviously a huge Gurren Lagann fan and Trigger. And so when I saw when Trigger was collaborating with A1 to do that series, I was like, this is going to be great. First episode was great. And then it got so bad that Trigger was just like, they didn't want anything to do with it. And I was like, and then there was a teen pregnancy at the end. It was very odd. It was a terrible series. But 02 was like the one person in the series, anybody, she's the only reason anyone watched it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was one of those things
I like her a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when I got my Gintama tattoo a couple weeks ago, there was a girl getting a 02 tattoo there. Like, people are just obsessed. And so Makima is gonna, and maybe Lum will make a comeback. For me, it's like, I just want more people to get Reagan tattoos, so I'm not the only one with mine, but yeah, and also I know like no one really cares, but I want to talk about it anyways because I am forever a stan. But Golden Kamuy season 4 I'm very excited about, and I'm very sad that nobody really watches it because the anime is terrible. Like, the adaptation is awful because the studio that does Golden Kamuy, it's the only anime they do. They've never done any other anime. They only do, so the animation's awful. The pacing is not that good. There's a CGI bear that everyone makes fun of in the first season, but the manga is so fucking good that I'm like, I can't not love it. And it's just a bunch of, it's a historical series.
Did you see that one series? It's like this guy who's like a music manager or a music producer. He comes back from like a long time ago, like centuries and centuries ago.
Is it the one that was seasonal earlier this year?
Yes. What is it called?
Oh my god, I'm Googling
Please
it. I watched it.
I saw the opening and I was like, yo, this is probably one of the best openings I've ever seen of all time.
The anime was not that good though.
Was it? Something Fu?
Oh my god, hold on. I have the seasonals pulled up. I just saw that Shenmue. I'd never watched the Shenmue anime, did you?
Oh, I thought it was a game.
It is a game, but they had an anime of it.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh my god, I forgot the name of that.
I'm surprised they haven't made a Dynasty Warriors anime. I would watch that. Like, my life depended on it.
I need them to make a Yakuza anime.
Oh, that'd be great.
I need them to make a Yakuza anime, and I need them to make a Dark Souls anime, which would just be wild.
They're making a Nier Automata anime. I'm scared. I want it to happen, but I'm also scared.
Is it Talk Up Destiny?
No, I've actually watched it though. Tacked Up is pretty good.
I didn't like it that much.
You didn't? I loved it.
I didn't finish it, at least. See, that's the thing about
I liked it though because it gave me well, I didn't finish it, but it gave me Final Fantasy 15 vibes. That's why I liked it. It was very similar to 15.
I plan to play it eventually. My anime game right now I'm playing is Metal Gear Solid, but which they should also make an anime.
That would be a good
That'd be a
anime.
good anime. I have no idea which one it is.
I mean, they made a Persona anime, so I don't see why they can't adapt more games.
Did you ever watch the Persona 5 anime?
I did, but then I stopped because I got to the part where I was in the game, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop here, and then I never finished the game, never finished the anime.
I feel like the cutscenes in that were actually better than the in the video game than they were in the anime, which was concerning.
That's what usually happens, though.
Oh my god, it's really funny whenever they have like video games or anything become an anime. Like I watched the Devil May Cry anime before I even played the game, which came out way before 4 and 5. So like Virgil wasn't even in there yet, and it was just like you can tell that they had no idea what to do with the story because it's like they're
that's
so
how
used
Final
to...
Fantasy animes are. That's how exactly how they
what was
are.
the big one that came out in like the early 2000s that was in the theaters? The Spirit one is like it was the big 3D Final Fantasy movie.
I mean,
Spirits
Kingsglaive,
Within. I don't know. It was
Kingsglaive, Advent Children,
I don't
Final
know.
Fantasy 15, Brotherhood.
See, is that like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
No, yeah, I guess so.
I never got into Final Fantasy. We should actually just do a whole episode on anime video games and talk about which video games would be good anime, because that has become my thing now on stream. Is that I say it's any Japanese video game that doesn't take itself seriously but somehow still makes you cry. So like Yakuza, Devil May Cry, and now Metal Gear Solid. So also kind of Final Fantasy in the sense.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I cry in Final Fantasy because I'm emotionally unstable, but I feel like a normal person would not cry over Final Fantasy.
If you were emotionally stable, you wouldn't be on this podcast. I'm just letting you know.
If I was emotionally stable, I wouldn't watch anime.
Now, before we dip into the last part of this show, which is the bad anime tweets, and I'm excited about that, was there any seasonals or anime that stuck out this year for you that you really liked, that you've seen so far?
This year?
This year.
Oh. I love the Dragon Ball movie. That was great.
Hey,
it wasn't
it
wasn't as good as Broly, but I liked it a lot. Dragon Ball movie was great. I love Dragon Ball. I think I'll always love Dragon Ball because it doesn't take a lot to impress me, and I mean Dragon Ball can fuck up time and time again. I don't care. I don't give it that like. I don't care. I love
You're
Dragon
not
Ball
emotionally
regardless. Yeah, I feel like genuinely I'm like the epitome of like a fangirl for Dragon Ball. I don't care what happens. If people hate it, fine, but I will always love it. Spy Family was good.
Demon Slayer movie technically came out this year.
Was it?
I think so.
Damn.
Was that earlier this year? Or it might have been last year.
Demon Slayer movie was good. Demon Slayer season 2 I liked.
Or Demon Slayer season 2. That was it. Sorry.
Yeah, Demon Slayer season 2 was good. I feel like this year has been really slow for anime. I've watched a lot of anime. I've watched quite a bit, but I've only watched the first episode and I've dipped.
Oh yeah, the only anime I think I watched fully this year was Ranking of Kings, which was amazing. I really
started
loved it.
Never finished it.
It was just so cute. And then Kaguya-sama season 3 was okay. I think I don't agree with most of the people when they come to because you're like me. We've seen a lot of romance anime, so I feel like people who are super invested in Kaguya-sama have not, because I'm like,
I agree.
It's the best romance series
People
of all
will
time.
say that, and I'm like, oh, God, no. I was like, and the thing is, romance anime. I feel like romance anime is definitely. I tried watching Komi Can't Communicate. I loved it I love it. I love Komi Can't Communicate. The problem is it is repetitive, and I feel like I'm watching the same thing over and over and over again every episode. And I can compare it because I watch Korean dramas, and when I watch an hour-long and 30-minute episode in a Korean drama and 7 different things happen, it's like, how can I continue to watch Komi Can't Communicate when every episode is the same thing over and over again, you know?
Also, it makes zero sense. Okay, why would someone who's socially awkward and doesn't know how to talk to people want 100 friends? That is the most unrealistic thing I've ever heard in my life.
She's trying to get over it.
With 100 friends? I am
awkwardness.
super social. I want 100 friends. I stress out having 10 friends. She's doing it all wrong, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, but obviously she's never had like any friends, so she's like, I want 100. You know, like I kind of get it, but at the same time, I'm like, it's the same thing. There are episodes where there's absolutely no improvement whatsoever, and I get it. It's really fun and lighthearted, but I think it's very fun and lighthearted for like maybe one season, because I didn't finish Komi, but I do love it. I love Komi's character.
I didn't finish either.
I love the characters, but it's like after like I think I got to like episode 15 or something. After that, I was like, okay, this is great. But you know what's a good anime I watched that I loved and I didn't expect to love it? It's called Mieruko Chan. Yeah, and she literally, there's a lot of fan service, but the fan service can easily be ignored sometimes, but it's like kind of obnoxious. But it's about a girl who sees like dead people, like spirits, and she doesn't want them to know that she can see them, but there are like very, very scary, unsettling scenes. It's one of the best shows I've watched. I loved it, and I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. The animation's great. The character, the main girl, is great. Her friend is great. Like everything about it is really, really good.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Okay, yeah.
I've
seen
it.
Manga shots of this.
I love it. It's so good.
Interesting.
That's so good.
Well, we're really excited for seasonal anime. At least I am. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you. It's okay. I just bleached my shoes yesterday, so
I have to do that tomorrow.
They're like, yeah, really nice. I do have this segment that I like to add at the end of our episodes because I'm a meanie panini. And it's called Bad Anime Tweets. And my favorite thing to do on Twitter is to look at people's stupid hot takes. And I grabbed a couple for us to discuss. One of them is this person's. I'm never going to name their @, so I'm not giving you any fucking attention.
Yeah, don't give them.
But this person is obviously a huge One Piece fan and consistently posts his very, very bad hot takes. And I know because I follow them on my burner account because I don't want them knowing that I give them attention. But this one was basically, there was a big reveal in, I guess, One Piece recently. I don't know what it was.
Oh, I know what it is.
It's probably the One Piece.
Dude, I looked in the trending tag for One Piece because I don't watch One Piece, so I was like, oh, I'm just curious. And then it was a bunch of One Piece characters with Photoshop dicks on them.
I saw it, yeah.
I got flash. I was like, yo!
Yeah, I did not need to see that.
I hated it. I hate it. One Piece fans, why?
I think it was like Luffy also gained a new gear, which is like his movesets or whatever. And so this person, I have two of them, said that Luffy clears Superman and Batman in terms of being iconic and remembered.
Oh. That has to be a troll. That can't be serious.
No, they were serious because in the comments they were arguing that if we were to go to Japan, more people would know who Luffy is than Superman.
That's not true.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Not only is that not true, but like anybody, also Goku as well. Anybody, if you were to name a term that's associated with Superman if you've never seen Superman. Kryptonite, easily. Name a term that's associated with Goku if you've never even seen Dragon Ball.
Mama.
Exactly. Kameha Mama. Kamehameha. It's like everybody knows those terms. I have never seen Dragon Ball in my entire life. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched anything Superman since Smallville. But like, if you were to say those words, like, people would know, well, you would know exactly what you're associating with. But, like, Luffy, unless you're outside of Japan, I have seen half of One Piece. And I could be like, I don't think anyone would know. If you see a Superman symbol on a shirt anywhere in the world, everyone's going to know what that is.
Even just letting that go, I can just end this debate right here. Luffy's not in Fortnite. So... Yeah. I don't know what
yet. Luffy's not in Fortnite
yet, but he's not in Fortnite now, and Goku is.
But he probably won't be because Naruto's also in Fortnite, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Because it's like, yes, when you look at the big animes, everyone's gonna know who Naruto is, and everyone's gonna know who Goku is. No one's gonna know who Luffy is. And
people will know, but I feel like Luffy's just nowhere near Naruto, or even, let alone Naruto, but then Goku, to compare him to Goku.
Oh,
and then Batman and Superman. It has to be a troll. They can't be serious. They were
in the comments arguing because they were like, well, I feel like, in Japan, like, they have the One Piece Tower. It's like, you're looking at one part of the world.
Yeah.
But if you wear a Superman symbol anywhere else in the world, no one's gonna know what are you gonna do? Wear a straw hat and someone's gonna be like, oh, Luffy. Yeah. No, they'd be like, they're a farmer. Yeah. Like, they're not gonna think fucking Luffy. Anyways, even if there were a troll, I didn't tell you they're so you can't find them. So it doesn't matter anyways. This one is mainly for me, and it also makes me laugh because there is so many tweets like this that say that Gintama is the most overrated anime of all time, or Gintama is the biggest waste of time I've ever seen. As a Gintama fan, not only do I disagree with that, but it's not overrated because no one outside Twitter knows what the fuck it is. You want to know how I know? Because I have a Gintama tattoo, and every single anime artist in that shop, which is 10 of them, have never done a Gintama tattoo ever. And half of the people there didn't even know what it was. And they were all weebs. The entire shop was just weebery everywhere. And they were like, I don't know what Gintama is, because Twitter is a bubble of people who think they know how the outside world works. Like, you know what Gintama is, but you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
And I would never blame anyone for everyone is like, would you recommend it? I was like, no, it's extremely Japanese and also a commitment. Like, most casual anime watchers look for things like action, animation, whatever, shock value, whatever. Yeah. But like Gintama doesn't have any of that. So for me, it's like you have to really be invested in the comedy and the culture to like it. So it's like, I see tweets like that and it makes me laugh. I'm like, do you leave the house?
Yeah.
Go out in public. Go to the nearest anime store. Ask them if they have any Gintama merch. See what they said.
Overrated, especially in like the anime community, is like a very overused word. Like everyone uses it for every little thing. And so that's probably what happened there. They just don't even register what overrated means. They just say it to say it.
Overrated is a dumb term to begin with because you can say anything is overrated, but to make the argument multiple times that something specific is because it doesn't hit you the same that's not what overrated means. Overrated does not mean that it doesn't affect you like everyone else. I can't understand why everyone else likes this, so I think it's overrated.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how that works.
Dude.
you didn't like it.
I made a Dragon Ball tweet the other day. I said, I fucking love Dragon Ball, because it's true. And then there was a guy on there who's like, you have trash taste. It's like, oh my God, you're so quirky and unique, and everybody loves your unique opinions. You're so different from everyone else. Like, shut up. Dude,
I need
no
you
one
to
cares.
know that I watch real anime like Gintama.
I hate pick me anime fans. I can't stand them.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer sucks. It's like, bro, you cannot factually make that argument. You may not like it, but there's no way Demon Slayer is ever going to be bad in any universe. Like, you can't factually argue it.
And then they won't get upset why they will never be hired as real reviewers.
It's like, because you're an idiot. You're a moron.
People who review things they don't even like have to still stay professional and be like, it wasn't for me. I thought the controls were janky, or I thought blah, blah, blah. I thought the animation was subpar compared to its last seasons. But you don't say, this thing sucks. Like, if people change their language as being like, I didn't like it versus it's overrated and it's bad, I think we might actually be able to achieve world peace. Anyways, that's the end of our episode today, guys. Wanted to leave on the world peace message. And please, if you're watching this on YouTube, which you should be really weird if you're not, please comment things below that you might want us to talk about in the future, or any takes that we have. And please don't tell us our favorite series are overrated, because we will cry. So thank you for joining us today on Two Weebs in the Pod.